everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're talking about the 2023 releases that I wish I had gotten to this year. So, I do want to preface this video by saying that yes, these are 2023 releases. Yes, I'm a little bit sad that I didn't read them just because I always feel that way about every book I own. Basically, I always just want to read them all. So these are more gonna be like the 2023 releases I bought because I knew I wanted to have them and read them, and then I just didn't. Like, I don't really necessarily have a ton of regret that I didn't because I've read quite a few books this year. I've really enjoyed the stuff I've read. I have read some 2023 releases. Like, I want to say, if we want to take the time and actually go to my stats right now, 12% of the books that I've read this year are from 2023. And I know that doesn't sound like a ton, but 13.9%, so almost 14% of the books that I've read this year are from 2022, 13.9% are from 2021, and 12.4% are from 2020. So I'm averaging about the same number of books read for this year, last year, 2021, and 2020. Like, I'm still getting a lot of reading done for things that have been recent releases, at least. Let's just say that. So, like, I know I want to read these. It just means I haven't quite gotten to them. I do sort of feel bad, but at the same time, I just wanted to, like, keep myself accountable. A lot of these are just going to be ones that I bought this year that I wanted to read. And I think this is most of the 2023 releases I have bought. Maybe not all of them, but, like, quite a few of them. Let's just go with that. I don't even think I necessarily have these in any particular order because I just have, like, some stacks that have ended up around my desk. So let's get started. The first one that I see here is Last to Leave the Room by Caitlin Starling. So this was a book that came in an Evernight box, which is the new horror subscription from Illumicrate. And this one came in October, so like a very recent release. I definitely do want to read it. It's about like a scientist who finds like a door, I think in the basement or something, and there's like a duplicate there. I don't know what's going on with it. It is gonna be horror. I love the like vibe of this new cover, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. Then we have After the Forest by Kel Woods. This was an Illumicrate book from one of the boxes, again around October maybe. So again, a recent release that I just haven't gotten to, and this is going to be dealing with like Hansel and Gretel after the woods sort of thing. I mean, after the woods. I definitely want to read it. I just haven't read anything that's recently come out. Then we also have Sword Catcher by Cassandra Clare. This is her like debut into adult fantasy, and I really do want to read it. I don't know much else about it, but I have basically read every single Cassandra Clare out there, so I definitely do want to read this one. But speaking of Cassandra Clare, I have also not read Chain of Thorns, which came out earlier this year. I want to say around March. I could be mistaken exactly on the release date, but it's so thick. It is the last book in the trilogy of The Last Hours, which is like the most recent trilogy for the Shadowhunters world. I have read all of these books except for this one, but I do think I've slightly put this one off because of how thick it actually is. So this one is one that I'm like regretting a little bit, but at the same time, it's intimidating. Then we also have Starter Villain by John Scalzi. This one should not be intimidating. It's only like 200 and something pages, almost 300, but not quite. I definitely want to read this. I love the cover so much. The fact that we have the cats on there, and it says meet the new boss. Like, this is about a guy who I think is taking over his uncle's like villain business and realizes that the cats are upper management. Like, I definitely want to read this and I just haven't gotten to it. We also have the Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. This is the new book in the new series that like spins off from A Darker Shade of Magic. I definitely want to read this. I actually really do like these covers. Like, the colors just are so nice. But this one came out around September, I want to say. So again, I just haven't been reading, at least it feels like I haven't been reading as many new releases toward the end of this year. We also have the newest Percy Jackson and the Olympians book called The Chalice of the Gods by Rick Riordan. So this is literally the 6th book in the Percy Jackson series, like the original series that came out a while ago, that I read when I was in my 20s, but I absolutely love them still. And so even though this is a middle grade series, which I think this one's a little bit more young adult, like he's in his senior year of high school, I want to read it. I'm debating if I want to actually reread the original series first, and then I know I have some books that are like sort of in between leading up to this one. Like I haven't read any of the Trials of Apollo ones. I might want to read those. I do also have this one too, The Sun and the Star by Rick Riordan and Mark Oshiro. This is the Nico and Will story. So 2 Percy Jackson-ish books that I did not read this year that I probably should have. I have another Illumicrate book here. I have A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. I absolutely love this cover. Like the vibes of it is immaculate. And I do definitely want to read this one. And again, I just haven't. I do want to say this one probably came out again near the end of the year, maybe the second half of the year, and because of that, I feel like I've slowed down on those 2023 releases, but this is going to be some sort of like, I feel like it's dark academia vibes, and it has something to do with like writing and books and stuff like that, fairy tales even, like I want to read it. Then we have a book that actually did come out near the beginning of the year, which is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. This reminds me of, I think it was like a Tumblr post or something from back in the day about like, what if somebody was like baking and accidentally summoned a demon? And I feel like that's sort of what this is. This girl ends up summoning this demon on accident, and she's a witch. You can't trust demons, but at the same time, they need to fake date. And I'm just like, it sounds so good. I think I was originally sort of saving this for the like more fall season just because witches and demons and stuff like that, and I know I shouldn't have, but like I did. And I just didn't really get any of these kind of books picked for that kind of TBR, and I need to read it, and I didn't. Then I have Ravensong by TJ Klune. This is the gorgeous Barnes & Noble edition where you go into it and you have this on the hardcover and pretty end papers. This is the sequel companion novel to Wolfsong, which I read when it was like officially indie. This is like now been picked up by Tor, I believe it is, yes. And I did really love it. It's been a little while since I read that one, and so again, I'm debating if I want to reread that one. I do have the pretty edition for that as well. But I know this follows characters that I was very intrigued by in the first book, knowing that they had a story in the second book, and I just haven't picked it up. I also have the True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. I absolutely love The Soulmate Equation, really wanted to get to this one, and it almost got picked for a TBR. There was 1 month semi-recently, I can't remember exactly, I think it was October, where purple came up as like one of the things that I needed to pick, and Presley was actually picking books for me, and the special edition of this book from Afterlight was purple. However, it was a poll pick for you guys, and you actually had Maplecroft win, which was not the best. I did DNF it, and by the time I got to that book and then DNF'd it, there was just not enough time left in the month to get to this one. But I do still definitely want to read it. It's about the best friend from The Soulmate Equation who is like an author but is sort of down on her luck. Like she's a romance author and the romance in her real life is just not working. So she goes on like a dating show. Like I need to read it. Only a couple left. The next one we have here is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I really enjoyed The Dead Romantics. I gave it a 4.5 stars. This one dealing with like a split time thing, the 7-year slip thing, reminds me of like The Lake House, that movie with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, which I love that movie and I want to read this. I know Kayla from Books and Lala recently did like a reading vlog that had this in it, and she actually compared it to About Time, or at least that's what she thought it was before she went into it, and I also love that movie, so like I definitely need to read this, and I haven't. Please tell me why I just haven't read a whole bunch of books that I need to read. And then the last one I have here is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. The reason I haven't read this one is because I still have The Lake House. What is that one? The House Across the Lake. And I know these are not even companion novels. They're just individual novels by this author. I somehow have it in my head that I need to read that one before this one. And I know I don't, because when I first started reading his work, I did read the first 2 books and then I skipped the third one to go to Home After Dark because that was the year that one had released. And then I went back to Lock Every Door. But somehow, even though this one came out this year and I heard better things about this one than The House Across the Lake, and this one's a little bit more intriguing to me because of the fact that it is about like a woman who might have killed people and has been like mummed the word until she's basically on her deathbed with a caretaker. Like, I definitely want to read this one. And yeah, just because I own The House Across the Lake as well but haven't read it from last year, somehow there's that block in my mind thinking I need to read that one first, even though I know I don't have to. So there might be a couple other books that released in 2023 that I bought that I haven't talked about today, but these are the ones that for sure came out this year that I've had around me in this room, and they're staring me in the face saying, hey, why didn't you read me? And like I said at the beginning, I don't 100% feel bad about it because I know I will get to them, and I am very excited for every single one of those that I have purchased, but at the same time, like, I don't know why I didn't read them. I don't know why. I really don't know why. So I don't know if anybody can actually look in my brain and tell me why. This is just the way it is. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Let me know if there was any book that released for you this year that you really wanted to get to and then just somehow didn't. And if you want to see more videos, subscribe to this channel. I do have videos coming out every Tuesday and Thursday, so I will see you then. Bye.